Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. Gary Keller. We see that everything is down for the day. As we look at stocks, we can see the S&P 500. Now again, we're just sort of stalling since we reached the latest high on the S&P 500 back on the week beginning the 12th of June. We look at the high there, and you can see where the high is going to be registered here. I have to go to the candle itself. You'll see it's 443.90. The next week, 438, 444, and this week, 444.08. So, well, look at that. It's actually a few cents higher this week. It's since pulled back, but, and again, that is why we want to look at them like I just did. We just barely edged a little bit higher. So again, we're still, though, hanging right around this area of 444. So is it going to bang up from there? I mean, look at this. It's just unrelenting since things turned around in March. They've just continued to go up. Now, they did slide sideways for a while. Then they started up again. Are they going to slide sideways here and start up again? We're going to wait and see. At some point, what goes up does come down. We see prices right there on the 2-day chart. It's sitting right there on the weekly trend line and decently above on the half-day chart above the weekly trend line. Remember, it's that trend line on the weekly because we're trading on the weekly. Let's go to the NASDAQ 100. And again, we're going to adjust this a little bit here for where things are going this week. And we see the high back in June, on the week beginning June the 12th, 372.85, 372.01 is where we are this week. So we're not hitting as high as we did back then. 372.85, 372.01. So again, you can see where the NASDAQ has been slowing for several days. We can go back and see where things were, how they've, and again, the half-day chart shows us one depiction of things. We can see that reflected in these other candles as we've had things, again, just sort of peak and then slide sideways. Down for the day, 0.76%. S&P down 0.78%. So again, very similar here on the NASDAQ 100. This is the weekly trend line, and on the 2-day chart, it's right there just above, and we can see it's even closer on the half-day chart than the S&P. So again, things slowing down. Doesn't mean it's not going to gear up again like we saw here with a sideways slide where it took off, but at some point, it's going to stop. We'll be ready when it does. In the meantime, we're just going to keep riding that wave, aren't we? Now, let's look at bonds, which did take a definite turn. We talked about how flat this was. Bonds down 1.41%. We don't have any way to track that on the weekly chart yet, but we can sort of interimly go ahead and put it on the 2-day and sort of see where it is. It's very, very flat. So again, we'll just continue to watch, wait, and see how these bonds are going to develop. Bonds are going to take off, moving down again. As you can see from where we are on this candle, let me move this out of the way. Well, it's going to go right back in the way. I'll just move this down. You can see that, what do we have there? We have some up movement on this candle, some down movement, very small candle. So again, we want to see down moves like this, nice, strong, long down moves. What we've seen happening as of late, bonds popped up, bounced off. We can see this little ceiling that developed for bonds and bounced off of it, bounced up to it, sort of rolled down, then sideways, trying to move up and died. So again, bonds aren't really keeping us very happy these days. I'll go ahead, try to put this back in here. We'll see how bonds continue to move along, but going back into the red this week. Now we look at where gold is. Gold down again for the day, 0.30. Not a strong down week at all, but things moving in the right direction. We see red down candles on all three charts. And of course, this is the Thursday, first day of the latest 2-day candle, after a small green candle before, followed by lots of red down candles previously. So we will keep an eye on gold, but again, gold not taking off, still moving down. What about Bitcoin? Down some for the day, 0.63%. You can see we're now it's sitting right there on this half-day chart. On the weekly trend line, you can see on the 2-day where it's pushed through it just the first day, but look at all that volume there. And as we look at where things are, Bitcoin also appears to have stalled after popping up to its most recent high of $31.22. And as we look at the high this week, $30.77. So again, slowing down there on Bitcoin we are seeing also. That is where we are, folks, as we end the day on Thursday. Patreon members, I've already posted at the Patreon page Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. That'll, of course, be going out for everyone tomorrow. Get in on that early. And I will be, just for Patreon members, putting out our weekly vertical crossovers along with our 3-wave trades. Those are the curated liquid ETFs and stocks that we look at every week and bring you a little list and give you some ideas and thoughts we have on them. If you're not a Patreon member, we have 3 levels. Support at any of those levels. First thing you get is one I think is one of our best trainings ever, and it is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, along with all the stuff I just went through. Support the things that help, and if you appreciate what we do, give us a little love back. Be sure to always subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and please like the videos. Share what we do with your friends and family. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.